When there's a relationship, there is a chance of a breakup. When all hopes of living a life with your partner vanish, emotions become overwhelming to the mind and body. We're all familiar with some individual in our lives who snapped after a breakup, and it leaves us with the thought of what would happen to our superheroes if they had to go through the same. There have been many instances with many characters from popular comic books who felt the pain of losing their favorite person, and sometimes they even moved on to become better versions of themselves. However, it's hard to say what would happen to one of the most complex characters in comic history if he had a breakup, and we're talking about Batman. Young Bruce knows what it is to lose loved ones. He lost his parents and many of his close friends. But does that mean he's accustomed to such pain? Well, for Batman, the struggle has been to open up to someone, and a relationship or a marriage is impossible to his way of life. Hence, losing a relationship after giving it a chance did make him snap. Hi everyone, and welcome to another marvelous video. In today's video, we'll be exploring what happened to Batman after his breakup with Catwoman. So without any further delay, let's begin. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Batman weds Catwoman. Before diving into the aftermath of their breakup, it's important to acknowledge the numerous story arcs where Batman and Catwoman shared a deep and complex romantic relationship. Over the years, their bond has evolved from adversarial encounters to a nuanced relationship built on mutual respect and understanding, often walking the line between love and loyalty to their respective worlds. The particular story we're going to explore comes from Tom King's Batman: The Wedding story arc, which spans issues 45 to 50 of Batman Volume 3. The storyline delves into one of the most defining moments in their history, with a twist that alters both of their lives. The story itself is a bit chaotic, largely because of Booster Gold's well-meaning yet disastrous interference. Inspired by Superman's act of going back in time and saving Krypton, Booster thought he could do the same for Batman as a wedding present like no other. His idea? Travel back in time and prevent Bruce Wayne's parents from ever being killed. However, this decision created a dark and twisted reality. In this alternate timeline, Bruce grew up happily with his parents alive, but the ripple effect was catastrophic. Without his tragic past to shape him, Bruce never became Batman. Dick Grayson took on the role of Gotham's Dark Knight, and many other events led the world to become a chaotic one and soon to be ending. It took Booster Gold 2 years to fix the damage he had caused, and when the timeline was restored, Bruce and Selina were finally able to move forward with their wedding plans. However, their happiness was soon threatened by an old foe, the Joker. Desperate for Batman's attention, Joker staged a brutal massacre in a cathedral, killing innocents to lure him in. When Batman arrived, the Joker stalled for time, engaging in a twisted conversation before detonating an explosive hidden within the church's cross. The blast incapacitated Batman, leaving him vulnerable. But Catwoman, ever the hero in her own right, came to the rescue. A brief yet intense fight followed, during which Catwoman slashed Joker's neck, only to be shot in the stomach by him in return. In a chilling moment, both severely wounded, Joker and Catwoman engaged in an almost surreal conversation. As Joker held his neck to stop the bleeding, he reminisced about the old days when villains like Penguin and the Riddler coexisted with Batman in a bizarre equilibrium. The exchange of dialogues turned absurd as Joker asked Catwoman to fetch his magazine because his gun was out of bullets, claiming he couldn't do it himself due to his injury. Catwoman, equally injured, retorted that she needed both hands to stop the bleeding from her stomach wound. Their morbid exchange shifted to a deeper topic, and that was who truly knew Batman better. Catwoman believed she did, but Joker argued that he gave Batman's life meaning, implying that without villains like him, Batman would be nothing. In a moment of twisted clarity, they both agreed on one thing, and it was that deep down, all Batman wanted was peace and happiness. Joker then made a chilling observation that if Batman ever truly attained happiness, he would give up his cape and cowl. With this thought, Joker attempted to rise, convinced that killing Catwoman was the only way to stop Batman from finding that happiness through marriage. But before he could act, he collapsed and seemingly died from his wounds. Yet his final words had a lasting effect on Catwoman, planting seeds of doubt in her mind. She began to question whether going through with the wedding would indeed ruin Batman and everything he stood for. Sometime later, in a fight with Kite Man, Batman casually suggested that they get married right there at dawn on the rooftop of Finger Tower. With the kind of spontaneity that often defined their relationship, they quickly made arrangements, securing a drunken judge whom they believed would be too intoxicated to remember their identities afterwards to officiate. And Bruce asked Alfred to be his best man, while Selina went as far as to free Holly Robinson from prison so she could act as her maid of honor. Though everything seemed to be in place, Bruce had his own doubts. He momentarily reconsidered, questioning whether he was truly ready for this life-altering decision. But after some reflection, he told Alfred with confidence that he was prepared. Selina, however, struggled with her own reservations. Holly had subtly fed into her fears, suggesting that marriage would weaken Batman, possibly even destroy him, by giving him the feeling of being complete. When dawn finally arrived and all the plans were set, Selina made the heartbreaking decision not to show up. She chose to walk away from Bruce and the life they could have had, believing that sacrificing their love was the only way to preserve Batman. Bruce was left standing alone at the altar, heartbroken yet stoic, as he always had been. In the aftermath, it was revealed that Holly had been working with Bane all along. When she returned to Arkham Asylum, she reported that the plan had gone perfectly. Bane had orchestrated the entire series of events, manipulating everything from the shadows to emotionally and mentally break Batman. What seemed like the ultimate romantic tragedy was, in reality, the culmination of Bane's calculated attempt to bring the Dark Knight to his knees. Batman post-breakup. With the conclusion of issue 50, Batman entered a new and disheartening phase of depression, deeply affected by the recent loss of his love, with whom he was just about to promise a lifetime of vows. This emotional turmoil was compounded by a mysterious case that caught his attention: the murders of 3 women: Elizabeth Andrion, Maureen O'Connell, and Christy Barnhart. Driven by grief and guilt, Batman embarked on an investigation, seeking to bring justice to those who had suffered at the hands of a killer. Through his relentless pursuit of the truth, Batman concluded that the murders were done by Victor Freeze, better known as Mr. Freeze. In a fit of rage and desperation, he confronted Freeze, unleashing a torrent of punishment upon him until the villain confessed to his crimes. Yet when the case went to trial, Bruce Wayne found himself coincidentally ordered to serve as a member of the jury. In this precarious position, he had to navigate through the legal proceedings while keeping his true identity and motivations hidden. During the trial, the district attorney questioned Bruce Wayne about his opinion of Batman and his past associations with the vigilante. With calculated precision, Bruce was able to deflect inquiries and provide clever responses, but the judge ultimately set new dates for the continuation of the trial. The following day, the district attorney started the prosecution by stating the police had found no tangible evidence linking the deaths of the 3 women or indicating it to be a murder. Instead, they reported that the women had died from random blood clots that had entered their brains. The attorney then pressed Commissioner Gordon about how he concluded that Mr. Freeze was involved. Jim explained that Batman had informed him of a slight drop in temperature in the brain stems of each victim, leading him to infer Freeze's involvement. However, this statement backfired when the attorney questioned whether Batman had any license to perform an autopsy on behalf of the Gotham City Police Department. Jim admitted that he did not, and at that moment, Bruce realized he had made a grave mistake. Overwhelmed by shame and frustration, Bruce left the courtroom and retreated to the restroom, where he unleashed his rage and agony in a scream. However, upon returning to the courtroom, he had regained his composure and transformed back into the calm, collected figure that Gotham needed. The attorney called Mr. Freeze to the stand, probing him about the confrontation with Batman and why he had confessed to the crime. Freeze claimed that while he had faced Batman numerous times, that night was different. The only reason that he confessed that he killed the 3 women as part of an experiment was because he believed it was the only way to prevent him being beaten to death by the Dark Knight. The trial concluded, leaving the jury to decide Freeze's fate. Every juror sided with Batman, dismissing Freeze's claims as false, but Bruce Wayne went against the motion. In a moment of profound conflict, Bruce courageously chose to support Victor, using his eloquence to persuade the jury to acquit the man who had committed heinous acts. Although he covered up for his misstep, his mind remained plagued by the recent events, weighed down by guilt and confusion. Later, Batman planned to move on and switched to his older Batsuit, discarding the one he used to wear while being with Catwoman. Just as he made steps towards healing, Bane executed the next phase of his plan. To continue breaking down Batman, he ordered KG Beast to shoot Nightwing in the head, causing significant brain damage. Fueled by vengeance, Batman tracked down KG Beast and exacted brutal retribution upon him. However, it was the Penguin who provided critical information, revealing that Bane had orchestrated not only Batman's breakup, but also the attack on Nightwing. Enraged and reckless, Batman stormed into Arkham Asylum, ignoring the GCPD's orders and seeking to confront Bane directly. As he unleashed his fury upon the villain, Commissioner Gordon arrived, attempting to intervene and restore order. However, in a moment of blind rage, Batman struck Gordon, leading to a fracture in their long-standing relationship. This betrayal pushes Gordon to sever all ties with the Dark Knight, leaving Batman to face the consequences of his actions alone. Bane seized the opportunity, capturing Batman and strapping him to a machine designed to generate unending, realistic nightmares. It was crafted by the twisted mind of Dr. Jonathan Crane. Subjected to excruciating pain and mental torment, Batman endured a barrage of horrific scenarios while chaos erupted as the inmates of Arkham were set free. Yet, despite the overwhelming odds stacked against him, Batman's indomitable spirit shone through. He navigated the terrifying landscapes of his mind and ultimately broke free from the nightmarish contraption. With newfound resolve, he tactically took down every inmate planning to escape, putting an end to the breakout and showcasing his resilience in the face of darkness. Marvelous verdict. So, we've finally come to the end of the video, and we hope you've liked our content. The breakup of Batman started a chain of events. Even after the struggle against Bane's plans, there were other crises that followed. In short, Batman could not afford happiness, and marrying Catwoman would certainly never end the chain of catastrophic events happening in his life. Leave a comment about what you feel about the incident, and cite any other case of turmoil in the lives of superheroes after a breakup. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and stay tuned for the next marvelous video. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.